Right now, somewhere in your body, a brutal war is being fought just to keep you alive. But what happened to humans before hospitals, pills, or sterile bandages existed to help us win it?
White blood cells hunting down bacteria. Platelets rushing to seal a cut.
And if it loses, you've got a doctor, a pharmacy, an antibiotic that kills the infection in 48 hours. Now, take all of that away. No hospital, no pills, no sterile bandages, just a flint knife, a wound that won't stop bleeding, and a winter that doesn't care whether you make it. That was every single human who lived before about 200 years ago.
And the ones before farming, before cities, before anyone wrote anything down, they had nothing we'd recognize as medicine at all.
A deep cut today gets cleaned, stitched, and covered. Done.
In the Ice Age, that same cut gets dirt in it, animal bacteria. Within days, the wound swells. Red lines start spreading up the arm.
Something that takes you 10 minutes at urgent care today would have been a death sentence for most of human history.
The body. Before anything else, before any plant or ritual or tool, the first medicine ancient humans had was already inside them. The human immune system is genuinely one of the most sophisticated things biology has ever produced. They also had something else working for them. Small group size.
You need dense populations for plague to move fast. When your entire community is 30 people spread across miles of open land, a contagious illness burns through a handful and then runs out of hosts. Over tens of thousands of years of close observation, trial, error, and careful memory passed down through generations, ancient humans built an extraordinarily detailed knowledge of which plants did what. At a Neanderthal burial site in Shanidar Cave in Iraq, dating back 60,000 years, researchers found massive amounts of pollen from 8 different plant species packed around the body.
Yarrow stops bleeding and fights infection. Ephedra is still used today in decongestants. They used honey on wounds because honey is antibacterial. They packed certain mosses into injuries. They used heat, applying hot stones or heated materials to wounds. A skeleton found in Iraq from roughly 45,000 years ago showed a man who had lost the use of his right arm, had a healed leg fracture, severe arthritis, and was clearly missing an eye. He lived to old age. He couldn't have survived without sustained care from the people around him. Someone fed him, someone kept him warm, someone made sure he didn't get left behind. That's medicine too, not chemistry. Community. Trepanation, drilling or scraping a hole into a living person's skull. It goes back at least 10,000 years across multiple continents, independently. A large percentage of those skulls show regrowth of bone tissue around the hole, which means the patient survived. Someone was performing brain surgery with stone tools, and people were living through it. Childbirth was managed by knowledge, not technology. Every group had women who had seen dozens of births. They accepted a death rate we would find unthinkable. Injuries that were manageable today were sometimes fatal then. What they didn't do was give up. They kept accumulating knowledge. Every generation passed down a slightly better understanding of how to keep people alive. The first person who figured out that willow bark killed pain. The first person who realized honey sealed wounds. The first surgeon who drilled into a skull and watched the patient wake up afterward. In a few thousand years, which is nothing on this timeline, we went from packing yarrow into wounds in a cave to performing open heart surgery under anesthesia. The deadliest thing about ancient life wasn't the lack of medicine. It was the assumption that nothing could be done. The people who survived were the ones who never believed that.